right, weatherinos, we're still having intense thunderstorms over the Midwest. I'm just going to move my big fat noggin. You can see that system that picked up through the Rockies over the last couple days is continuing across the plains now, and it gathered some strength, and it's still giving us some thunderstorm activity. Overnight, there may have been different areas where it got bad and tornadoes possible, but the outlook detail that they are giving me right now is over 5 hours old, meaning that it's not worth reading to you guys at this moment, and this has replaced my normal discussion, so we're just going to wing it. Hope everybody's safe out there. Stay safe if you're in one of the areas above my head. This is the very current Doppler I'm showing you as of 3 a.m. Central Time. It may have moved a bit by the time you're seeing my report in the morning. We also are tracking a high critical fire risk that's over by the New Mexico-Texas border area and a little bit for California as well. So if you're in any of those areas, look out for those strong winds, hot temperatures, and make sure you are being fire safe. East Coast, we're seeing a little bit up in the Maine area as some weather comes down from Canada. The rest of the East Coast does not look too bad. A little sprinkling over off Massachusetts there, but following down the coast all the way to Miami, it's pretty clear. West Coast, we are tracking a pretty big storm system up there in the Washington and Canada region, up by BC and the Puget Sound. So you're probably going to get wet today in those areas. As we track down the Oregon coast and the California coast seem relatively clear though. Mountain states, you are still seeing that pattern as it winds off. Let's check temperatures. West Coast, we've got 50s and 60s in Washington and Oregon. Traveling down to California, it warms up into the 70s and 80s. Mountain states, you're seeing range, but a lot of 50s and 60s as that weather is coming through, making it stormy and cooler. Four Corners states, you are hotter down by the border as is per normal, but up in the mountains, you are cooler as well. Plains, we are seeing 40s up in the Dakotas, Michigan 53, Nebraska 70, Kansas 83, Oklahoma 81, Texas between 80s and high 90s. You might reach some triple digits somewhere in there, but it looks like 98 is the projected forecast high. Midwest, you're seeing a good gradient from lake states being much cooler in the 50s and 60s, even the 40s up top by Canada. But as we come down into Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, Missouri, you're seeing 70s, and then into the deep south, we are seeing 80s and 90s along the Gulf. East Coast, 40s and 50s, 60s up top in the New England area. As you come down, we're seeing 60s and 70s and even 80s north of the Mason-Dixon line. South of the Mason-Dixon, we are definitely in the 80s and 90s. Florida Panhandle 92, tip of the Peanuts 90. If you think you're hot and you want to cool off, you could always take your butt down to McMurdo Station in Antarctica. McMurdo Station on the Rossy in Antarctica is negative 20 degrees, but they've got winds coming in from the east-northeast at 17 miles an hour, giving them a real feel of negative 52. That will cool you off, I promise. Alaskatarians are seeing little pockets here and there of precipitation, but nothing huge and of note. You've got a little chunk over in the mainland and then another chunk over on the Panhandle. Let's check your temperature. High temps for the Arctic Circle up at 30 degrees. As you come down the state, we see it transfer to 40s and 50s. 63 is the high I see over by the Canadian border. Aleutians, you're in the high 40s, maybe even the 50s near Anchorage, 56. Hawaii, we're tracking moderate to breezy trade winds delivering clouds and showers to mostly the windward and Mauka areas through the week. Localized areas of heavy rainfall may develop in the afternoons and towards the end of the week as well. Hawaii temperatures in the high 70s to mid 80s for most areas. This has been Ayla Mooney, everybody's favorite weather gremlin, reminding you if you're in one of the thunderstorm areas to stay safe out there and pay attention to your local forecast. I cannot be determinate of the very local to you spots. Everyone stay safe out there. Mwah, 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 mwah.